How's it going, Thomas? Welcome, Marcus. By Swayze. Thanks for popping in. Almost managed to go live without the Pokemon hat. That wouldn't be cool. How you doing tonight, by Swayze? Thomas, same question. I don't recognize your name right off the top, so good to have you. I finally figured out how to get everything I needed set up for the stream, set up prior to actually clicking the go live button. You know, like combining all of the chats in the program that I use, getting basically everything set up. It's a lot sometimes. But we are ready to go on this fine Wednesday. We'll see if the kiddos agree and go to sleep easily. They're still kind of thinking about it, it looks like. Just chilling. Been working on the living decks. About to start your shiny hunting again. OLED will be there tomorrow. That's what's up. The bright side is you don't have to try super hard to get to a point in time where you can shiny hunt, so that's good. Nothing like beating the entirety of Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl 4 times to have 4 different playthroughs to hunt Arceus on. How far are you on the living decks for Fire Red Leaf Green by Swayze? I should test the Mayo glitch on Emerald and Ruby and Sapphire and have a video ready for release if they do. I agree. I agree. Jose Garcia, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Are you new to the channel? Just popping in through the scroll functions? Sean Mo, welcome. Just got to play through Leaf Green to get their exclusives. Oh, okay. Which you can't do because you're shiny hunting, right? Your OLED is going to be a shiny only quest. Best of luck on that by Swayze. When did I think of the channel name SpongeBob Trainer? Oh my gosh. So long ago. Easily like 2021 or 2. Probably around 2022. Because I started out as just a different name altogether. And that channel got really big really fast. But I wanted to do everything on that channel, and it quickly went Pokemon specific. And so I'm like, well, my channel name doesn't really have anything Pokemon specific with it. So I want it to be more Pokemon. Like you got cool trainer Ryan. You know, you trainer you kind of pick up that it's a Pokemon YouTuber, and PokeRev, and names like that. But then on the other hand, you also got names like Austin John Plays or Sauce McGavin. Brasscoin works in that way too. But in that I want to keep Brasscoin as a channel itself too, and just have this one be Pokemon specific, I thought why not branch out and see if I could get a second Pokemon channel monetized for more of a narrow niche. But I also have a Zelda channel that I could easily monetize as well at almost any point. So I would like to have the three avenues, pretty much just anything under the sun, Pokemon, Zelda, when the mood hits right. And I think that would just be lovely. Sean Mo is Pokemon. Yeah, kind of like Komodo. I get the reference. Let's not nickname that. Moondrop. I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself? You love the mail glitch? I'm so glad, Vice Swayze. I'm so glad. You're so tired. You may say random stuff. Moondrop, I feel like that's par for the course. Like, real talk. Sean Roulege, because your favorite Pokemon. There you go. It also sounds surprisingly like Ceruledge. You hate that you need to do another playthrough to dual hunt the legends, though. That's what this one's for, man. The legends will not be done as a part of this badge quest. But I will be doing the legends as just it's for fun afterwards. Sometimes Choncho, a grown man, wears stretchy pants. It's for fun. Oh, apparently I never reset. What the heck? It was embarrassing. Moondrop, I say random stuff all the time. You'll fit right in. Every week you find Pokemon YouTubers live streaming, and so far 2 this week. So what you're saying, Sean, is that you're not around for a long time, but you're here for a good time? Shauna, welcome. I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself? I got some Harry Potter butterbeer flavored Hershey Kisses. Got some Easter shopping out of the way today. Got a Mountain Dew and some water. Doing pretty good. Got told my team is probably getting bigger at work. And then bigger than we thought it would be getting, so it'll be interesting to see where that goes. You had to process, but yeah. I respect the hustle. What is prompting the 2 Pokemon YouTubers a week search? What's the driving force there? Are you looking for streaming inspo, or are we getting bored of like what they're doing? What's causing the move from streamer to streamer? You're good. You got eggs in an incubator. Major part of the storm missed you. You got chicken eggs, Shauna, or duck eggs? I will judge you accordingly. If I can, test it out on Emerald. Bet. Grab some ice. Ski on the beach, do a flip, spin until cold, make a bird, drop the ice on the wings. Throw the frozen bird with the pet goldfish and get swimming. Give 5 fish sand. Drop the bowl. Sounds like a good time. Also sounds like a Dr. Seuss novel. Quail and duck. You are a brave soul. That is my judgment. Although I would personally love to have a duck for the way my toddler behaves, because like a duck don't care. It's not going to cause any like permanent damage to said toddler, but like it's definitely not going to put up with his crap. And it would be hilarious to see a duck chasing my toddler across the yard. Like that would make my year. I'm a horrible parent sometimes, but that'd be great. What's life without a little trauma, you know? I mean, I grew up on a farm. I was riding goats, I was riding calves, I was riding sheep. I rode everything on a farm except for a horse. Me, Sacred Ash, and Light Glory are your go-tos? Okay, okay. You just find random live streamers? Oh, okay. I mean, that makes sense. So is it something that, like, if the person that you were watching isn't live, you go find somebody who is? And then just add that to the repertoire? You're gonna make something eat just listening for a bit. Fair enough. Make something delicious. Grab your favorite snack or drink and let's dive in. That was a semi-Hyrule Monkey, semi-Hyrule Gamer reference right there. usually. You know Light Glory, you're never on the streams though. If you saw Rooster after your toddler cousin, you would laugh so hard you'd be dying. I would be concerned about a rooster attacking my toddler, but I would not be concerned about a duck. Ducks are meaner, but they're less lethal. You know, like, yeah, they can bite you and pinch you with their bill, but it's not going to cause damage, really. It just hurts. And they fan out their wings and chase you and just quack at you and just try to peck you. A rooster's beak is sharp. That'll draw blood, that'll scar, that'll cause permanent injury. Ruben, welcome. Your brain right now, loading. I guess the solution, Sean, is that I'll just always be live, and then you don't have to be going looking for other streamers who aren't live. And then problem solved, really. For everybody. Makuhita Hariyama, learn knockoff at level 28, 29. Porygon is the only one that learns recycle at level 34. You know what to do. Honestly, by Swayze, that information is beneficial. I will do what I do best. And that is anything I want to in Pokemon. Yeah, I can skip some double battles. I can find a way to skip some double battles. Don't you worry about that. Get Sludge to 500 subscribers. That's what's up. That's the attitude we're looking for right there. Then you'll always have something interesting to watch at work. Exactly. Although I feel like after a while I would start to get quite boring, honestly. Like, I don't do much. Realistically, in my life, pretty bland. Wake up, go to work, come home, deal with toddlers, stream a little, go to sleep. I haven't gotten boring yet. We try. Could be a huge video on release day. Always want the best for me. Thanks, bye, Swayze. I think if we can get it working, that'll be good. Honestly, I'm pretty sure a lot of people had videos out on this before the game even came out. Try not to die of sickness. You know what? I do have a perpetual standing goal for that, and so far, I have succeeded flawlessly. Sludge is your go-to, Moondrop, when you don't know who else to watch due to boredom. I'll take it. I'll be that guy. Just for you, though. As long as there's Dr. Pepper in arm's reach, Sludge will be good. Yes. And if there's Mountain Dew within reach, I'll be okay. Why does Sludge have Mountain Dew today, might you ask? Did he get tired of Dr. Pepper? Is a thought running through your head. The answer's this stream. The answer is no. Sludge is not tired of Dr. Pepper and therefore drinking Mountain Dew. But Mountain Dew was on sale at the local gas station. 2 1-liter bottles for $5.25. Whereas Dr. Pepper was nowhere in sight. Or it was 3 bottles for a 20 ounce, and that was just not a great value to me. So, Mountain Dew it is tonight. If you miss a shiny, will it reset your odds? No. It'll just mean that you missed the shiny. But if you're being fair with yourself, there's 2 ways of calculating that. One is you reset your shiny counter if you're keeping track, because you're counting the encounters until the shiny, perhaps. And so if you find the shiny, whatever number it was at that you failed was the counter. The other method is that you're making a counter to count how many encounters it took you to catch the shiny. And if that's the case, then you would keep the whole running number. For example, if I was to shiny hunt Dratini in the Safari Zone, which is a terrible idea, by the way, and I found one at 1,700 encounters, but I'm counting how many it takes to catch one, and it runs away, I resume at 1701, 1702 until I find a shiny that I actually catch. It all depends on what you're counting and how you're counting and why you're counting. Moondrop knew I ran out and wasn't tired of it. Absolutely. Sorry you got a runny nose there, Sean. Getting over a little bug. You're gonna do some research right quick. Only thing you saw was the battle tower glitch, super slow, risky, overall L. Yeah, I tried doing that last night, and I'm surprised that I didn't corrupt my save file, being perfectly honest. Because, like, that is a fantastic way to do so. Just hopped on. Why am I going for Bulbasaur? Burnt out on the shiny Zard? Not at all, David Anderson. Not at all. I love shiny Charizard. But for the purposes of this run, a fire type is not needed to beat this game. Granted, Lorelei would be easier long term having a fire type, but a lot of her Pokemon are knowing water moves and are part water anyways. So Charizard doesn't really help in the critical fight. He does help, however, in like some of Bruno's battles with the fighting Pokemon he has, but not so much with the rock. So given that Bulbasaur is the best early Pokemon for Brock and Misty, I'm choosing Bulbasaur. Just because it'll make the run easier overall and gives me access to sleep so that I can catch any Pokemon that's shiny that I need to easily with less likelihood of knocking them out. Makes it easier to catch and move on. That's pretty much the reason why I'm going for Bulbasaur. Is I need to make sure that I can easily beat Brock, and given that this is a shiny only badge quest and I'm catching 1 shiny per badge prior to defeating the gym leader, I don't think I can beat Brock with a Charmander without getting extremely lucky or over leveling. And so I'm going for what's attainable. 15 likes already. That's what's up. I'm gonna have to pop on and set a new goal and pin it here. Enter Chrome? Did my Chrome just freeze? Hello? There we go. Understandable, but challenges should be challenging, shouldn't they? You got more moxie than I, so I'm just giving you a hard time. I figured. You know, because, you know, Shiny Hunt Challenge isn't challenging enough as it is, right? Got to make it even more challenging. Moondrop, do that exact same thing one more time, but give it a goal of 25. Switch account. David, have you been playing much Pokemon Pokopia at all? Who would I choose in a Gen 10 starter? Brout is interesting. Listen, Gekwa's got my heart already. Probably won't be watching my stream tomorrow. That's all right. I'm not entirely confident there will be a stream tomorrow, so I think we're on a mutual page here. There we go. 25. Replace pinned message. We are there. Gekwa is going to be the way to go for sure. It's fixing to be a Swampert 2.0. I wouldn't say 2.0, but maybe a Swampert Part 2. At the very least. It's got potential. It's got a lot of potential. Oop, I'm in the wrong place here. You think Green Angry Bud would also be interesting? You know what? I could respect that. As long as we're all on, like, the hate gang for Pombon, like, I think we're good. As long as there is no love being given to Pombon, we're in agreement. Because, like, whatever that thing is, I don't know, Pombom could turn into a freaking fire final evolution form, if, you know, pun intended. Actually haven't yet. It's just Switch 2. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just Switch 2. And I couldn't even find a copy in store. I just bought it digitally. Did I ever get that shiny Bulbasaur last night? I did not, Mark. Still grinding away. Grinding away at that Bulba. Only thing you've seen was the Battle Tower glitch. I already read that one, but it still applies. You just need Thief on a Lunatone and the other mon holding the mail to start the glitch. TV reporters are perfect for this. Epic by Swayze. We will get a video out for it post-haste and let everybody know. With it needing a Lunatone, that means that you can get that mid-game. 4th gym and you could do it. Pokopia has sold 2.2 million copies already, and it's hard to find physical copies right now. I didn't know that they had them in store until recently, but yeah, when I bought mine, Walmart had it listed, but I mean, it is also just a game key card too, so I really didn't care that much. But I would have preferred to have it digitally. Unfortunately, there's no reason for me to buy it again to get the physical cart, but whatever. But yeah, 2.2 million copies is pretty good, isn't it? I mean, I'm pretty sure SV sold 19 million copies or something like that. Maybe I'm off on that. just going to snap a pic of what you said there by Swayze for future reference, because why the heck not? Yeah, I figured it would be possible on Emerald given that they use the same mail system. It might be 2 legs since all fire starters, but Skeledirge is on 2 legs. It also might be firefighting because like 50% of the fire starters or more are firefighting. Because Nintendo likes a good pun. Almost 2.2 million resets for this Charmander. No! I'll never know if that was shiny or not. So lame. RIP potential shiny. Let's hope Brout stays grass flying. That would be legit to get a Brout that has flying stab. You know, a grass starter with flying stab. Do I know about the Ace Pokemon glitch you can do with this? Yes, I do. It is absolutely something that can give you shinies. And the odds are absolutely horrendous. I agree. Brout propaganda has worked on you. It hasn't swayed my opinion from Gekwa. But I do appreciate Brout. Your tissue box is half empty or half full. Keep blowing your nose and you will find the answer you seek, Shanmo. Our only grass flying is Rowlet, Dartrix, and Shaman Sky. Is Dartrix grass flying for real? Because, like, I know Decidueye is either grass fighting or grass ghost. So, like, that's unfortunate. Dartrix is nice. Yeah, I could definitely do the ace method in this. I haven't put a lot of research into how to do everything in it. But it's doable through that mail glitch. And you can cause all sorts of crazy things to happen. You can encounter Mew with it. You can encounter Deoxys with it. You can give yourself Pokemon. Wait. Ghost regular Decidueye. Yeah. I understand what you mean. When I read regular, I thought he was meaning normal. I'm like, ain't no way Decidueye is ghost normal. That is so weird. Never ever has a starter lost their primary type. I think we're going to end up with grass fighting again. Not really. I'm just messing with you. Your only flying is Rookadee, Corvus Squire, and Tornadoes, unless you count the Therian 4. If not 3. What are you talking about? You mean like solid flying? Going off to bed? You have a good one. Tomorrow and Friday, you'll be here all stream. All night long, all night. I hope I can stream tomorrow just for you by Swayze. No one else, just for you. We'll see. The wife is probably going to finish her book tonight, which means she will probably not be preoccupied Thursday and Friday, but she could always start another book. It's kind of crazy how Landorus, Thundrus, and Enamorus are dual typing, and Tornadoes is just pure flying. Somebody's got to be the odd man out. But also, it kind of makes sense. Because, you know, tornadoes are made of wind, whereas Thundurus is kind of wind and electricity, and Enamorus is like flying in whatever it is, blowing on the winds of the earth. And Landorus makes no sense. What typing is Landorus? Surely it's not flying ground, right? Have a good night, Sean. But at the same time, having 4 wind elemented legendaries would make sense. Flying ground, okay. So the reason why it's not dual typed with normal is because it's a legendary. You can't be legendary, flying, and normal. There's just too much going on. But there's the 4 winds of the earth and the 4 corners of the earth, as it said. So it's kind of cool that they have 4 flying elemental legendaries. And then, you know, from Christianity, there's the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse or whatever. So, like, that makes sense. Pokemon pulls from a variety of different places for its stuff. So does Zelda. Zelda's a fun series. Calyrax and Shadow Rider remind you of the Headless Horseman? I think they're supposed to. Hypothetically, if Kanto was in an era before electricity, what starter would I choose? You'd say Pikachu and Eevee are options as well? Listen. I would have to choose a Charizard. It's either Charizard or Dragonite. Welcome back, Shauna. Moondrop, the question was, if Kanto was in an era before electricity, which starter would you choose? So keeping it limited to starters, Charmander. I would have to choose Charmander. There is not even a question about that. Even limiting it to Generation 1 Pokemon as a whole, Charizard. And I dare say limiting it to all Pokemon as a whole, still Charizard. But Dragonite has got some benefits. Definitely having fire would be great. You always role-played in your head as one of the fisherman trainers when you were young. You'd have to go for Squirtle for clean water. Charizard can in fact boil any water and probably make it clean. My reasoning is this. You need something to take down prey, Charizard's got you covered. It's basically a dragon. Need to get somewhere fast? Charizard can fly you there. Need something to move? Charizard can move with strength. Iron Tail? Sign me up. Charizard's also very good with playing with kids, so despite what you would think. Charizard can cross large bodies of water with you. Charizard can fight pretty much anything. And it's conscious enough to not mindlessly set fires. Dragonite I would choose for the same reason, because it has everything that Charizard has but can fly faster. Problem is I live in Idaho, so Dragonite's going to get like dead every winter, so that's a problem. Charizard would survive. Charizard can't function in the rain and could possibly die. Quite possibly. I'm actually questioning that a little bit though. Charmander, yes, because its flame isn't strong enough to maintain. But Charizard's flame on its tail is a raging inferno, and it can turn up the notch and turn down the dial as it pleases. If I'm not mistaken. I mean, it's been a hot minute. But I'm fairly certain Charizard does not suffer from that same fate. Aerodactyl is a fossil Pokemon and needs electricity to be revived. Yes, this is true. Either that or we got some Dr. Stone nonsense going on there. Which are the Kanto starters? Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and Charmander. Optionally, Pikachu and Eevee as well. You got to evolve first. Yes, you are correct about that. You are correct. I think we could survive till it evolves. I mean, Ash was able to keep a Charizard's or Charmander's tail lit in the rain long enough to get help, and he couldn't put it into a Pokeball. I'm fairly certain it can also learn Cut, so trees wouldn't be a problem either. I also live in the mountains, so like it would be a pretty great place for a Charizard to train and evolve and survive. You like my answer? You would just live off the water? There you go. And that is perfectly okay. I could see in a electricity-less society and more of like, dare I say, primitive, living off the water would actually probably be an intelligent pathway. Your so-called, oh, your son called, or significant other, SO. Gotcha. Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle, despite how many times I've only picked Bulbasaur. Fire seems like a good thing, and yeah, it's pretty cold up here. A grass Pokemon would probably get KO'd just chilling here. But after I chose Charmander for my starter, if I got a second pick, Mudkip. Hands down, Mudkip. You do water, you get droughts a lot. Intelligent. I like it. Solve a common problem of the area. You only like fossils, Moondrop. That's a hot take. Your favorite starter is Torchic? Nice. So with all regions, yeah, if I'm still only limited to one, I would still choose Charizard. Slash Charmander. I do have a love for Torchic as well, but Mudkip is superior. Turtwig for mobile farmland could be cool. Could be. Those things can also get pretty massive, too. Can't stand Quaxley. I agree. Well, I take that back. I like Quaxley quite a lot, actually. I do not like Quaxquaval or Quaxwell or whatever the crap their names are. Did I get my hands on the TCG starter packs? Heck no, I don't even know what you're talking about. Goes from duck to peacock. They are so dope. They would be even more dope if they could be found. I haven't even seen a pack of Pokemon cards in a while. Do I have the Kanto Bird Trios promo card? Definitely not. I don't think I have any cool Pokemon cards at the moment. I went through and sold a bunch of them in December and November. Shauna, you have a great night. Okay, I'm gonna go shut my window real fast. Yes, it is March. I have my window open. Thanks so much, David. I forgot to click the button. You wonder if we can trade and buy stocks for the Pokemon Company in... Is that supposed to say Nippon? Hey, Chewy TZ, welcome. What's going on with you? Getting desperate? What encounter are you at? What a wave of desperation. Okay, Encontro. Oh, my son just fell asleep, or woke up. Hold on. You used my Discord to create Pokemon Showdown teams in games years back? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I enjoyed doing that while I could. But that's actually part of the reason, David, why I have the new channel, Sludge Bomb Trainer, is to kind of separate from that. You know, that channel was for the bots. That's kind of what all the subscribers are there for. So I'm trying to create a new channel that has just people that are, you know, maybe they used the bots back in the day, but they are also more interested in general Pokemon content like glitch videos and shiny hunting like this and other things like leaks and things like that. So that's actually the entire reason behind this second channel. Because we can't do that for the Switch too, so the main channel is going to die from what it was known for. Just wouldn't in comp. That's fair. I can respect that. Also, another reason for the new channel and the shiny hunting here under the name of Sludge is because I did those bots so much. I wanted to separate my shiny living dex and my Pokemon living dex from the name Brasscoin because that was associated with glitches and the bots. And so the Brasscoin trainer name was blacklisted on like a bunch of different Pokemon servers as, hey, these are generated Pokemon. So I didn't want my own trainer name to be blacklisted because my Pokemon were legit that I shiny hunted and caught. And so I'm doing it again. Not that I would ever trade for shiny Pokemon online myself, just because if I don't catch the shiny with my OT on it, then it's worthless to me personally. Pratik, welcome. My favorite Pokemon is Swampert. How about yours? Clefable. Okay, that's an off-the-wall one. What do you like about Clefable? You understand? You're thinking about doing this content or WWE 2K26 on your channel? This is your personal? Okay. I got you. What's your actual channel name? Is it something I would know? You're not gonna drop like that you're Austin John Plays or something on us, are you? Because that would be wild. Still small. Started with Mega Bonk. Okay. Wait. Mega Bonk. That's not currently your channel name, right? Okay, fair enough. This ain't Slinky Graves, is it? Because that would be hilarious. Clefable is one of the most consistent Pokemon in the OU tier competitively. Okay, yeah. First 3 generations, it was not nice as much, but after that, it became relevant. Ah, I like it. No. Okay. Clefable shows you that being average at first doesn't mean you stay average. The right environment and tools can make you shine, and consistency can be more powerful than flashy strength. I like the message. I like the inspiration behind it. I can get behind that. you like, especially when you factor in that Clefable only has a 383 base stat total. It competes with stronger Pokemon. I like it. Now the question is, shiny Clefable or not shiny Clefable? If I ever want to run some showdown battles in the future, you'd be down? Battling is not my forte. Not against it, but I haven't ever really put much time into the competitive nature of Pokemon battling. And my team almost always gets stomped with, like, the randomest thing. Shiny Clefable is awful. I would agree with that. It's fun if I don't run overused, which is OU. I'm gonna mute real fast and send a text here. Rain versus Sun teams are fun. Those actually can be kind of cool. Hey, thanks so much, Pratik. We'll be here grinding for years to come on shiny hunting here. I think that's another reason why I'm not super great at battling. I put most of my time into hunting shinies. My teams look cool. They don't perform cool. The reputation of Clefable is damaged by the pesky Clefairy. Yeah, that makes sense. Clefairy kind of terrible unless you're running a metronome tournament. A few years back, I ran a metronome battle league like Mikey from M&J TV. It was actually a lot of fun. Got like 8 random people, set up all the Pokemon they would need, traded them across switches and whatnot. Had them come over to my house. Like, this was a tiny apartment, right? Like, it had a separated bathroom and like a wall for the bedroom, but being perfectly honest, it was basically a studio apartment. It was like 100 square feet max. Okay, maybe like 200, but you get the point. It was tiny. And I had like 10 people in there playing Pokemon for a metronome battle league. That was so fun. Shiny Dragapult was probably your favorite. Bred on Cobblemon, not an actual mainline game. I gotcha. Glorious. Welcome. Girl stands for guy in real life. I can see it. Never seen Swampy get one-shotted in your entire career? Swampert a tanky boy. That is one Pokemon that you don't need a Focus Sash for. I mean, it could get one-shotted with some setup for sure, but yeah, just right off the cuff. Hisuian Samurott and Glamora are your Focus Sash picks in competitive. Wait, why Glamora? Does it not have Sturdy? Toxic debris. Oh, yeah, that's right. Hey, David, is Intimidate something that goes away when the Intimidator swaps out, or does it remain in effect for until the Pokemon that was intimidated swaps out? Corrosion, depending on the build. Okay. Interesting that Glamora can learn or that can have a corrosion ability. That's cool. Only when the Mon is out? Okay. So you can't stack Intimidates. Ah, watch. Let go of my cord. That was lame. Gyarados is nasty with Intimidate? Oh, yeah. And you can live for one Dragon Dance? David, how you feeling about Gyarados' Mega Evolution, by the way? Not worth Mega? Okay. Should it have been a Dragon type? Gosh dang it. Why do I keep doing that? Could have been shiny. He looks cool, just not a good pick. Oh, I think he looks fine. I just hate his typing. I feel so wronged that Gyarados didn't resume Legendary Dragon status upon Mega evolving. I'm also more pissed that we didn't get Mega Flygon in Legend ZA. Flygon has the best moveset? Indeed. I think he should have been Dragon Bug type though, but the universe would be complete if they gave Flygon a Mega Evolution in Legend ZA and made that Mega Evolution Dragon Bug instead of Dragon Ground. Flygon with stab is unfair. He's a mon used for coverage. Oh wait, you don't give Flygon a dragon move? You use it for fighting? Make a punch? Ah, superpower. I got you. Superpower is a good move. I've never really been one for competitive fighting. Like, I just haven't put time into what works together, what doesn't. Like, because it's more than just an individual Pokemon's moveset, right? It's how the team cooperates together as a whole, whether that's a setup sweep or an all-out attack. Like, I always think that I have a team built so good, and then somehow it gets steamrolled by like one or two Pokemon from the other person's team. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm just not cut out to be a battler. Maybe my strengths are elsewhere. Learn a stall team, then you can learn anything. Unironically enough, stall teams are what I try to do. Not that I've been steamrolled for, but the ones where I haven't lost brutally is because it's been a stall team. I don't think I ever really lost battles in SV because of that timer they have on their battles, or maybe that was Sword and Shield. I'm pretty sure it was SV, though, that had battle timers. I have used Toxapex. Yeah, I approached a battle as a gym leader for a sludge bomb for a poison-only type gym. It was a pretty good stall wall. I used Toxapex, Galarian Slowbro, Gengar, Scolipede. I fiddled with a Salazzle at one point. pretty sure I had a Glimora in SV anyways. And I occasionally swapped out with like Drapion. And Crobat, of course. But that was one where I didn't really put a whole lot of thought into like how the team works together, because it was all just like, what's got protect, what's got poison inducing moves and abilities if they get touched. Oh yeah, Nidoking was another Pokemon I would rotate in and off my team. Digging the music, Ninja Muffin, thanks so much. Game Chops is freaking awesome. How you doing, Ninja Muffin? Somehow I missed your chat for a little while. I apologize for that. So, priority is important, like Bullet Punch or Aqua Jet. That makes sense. Gave a few of my Pokemon, well, one of my Pokemon Black Sludge. Oh, we made it to 1,800 encounters. I feel like that was the longest 100 encounters of my life. Because I'm pretty sure I started at like 1,700, but I might have started it lower than that. Did I really go that slow today? Yeah, I feel like I started at 1,700. Bummer, dude. Alsan, welcome. You're at 30 hours of play and no luck yet. I'm at 15. I feel ya. So does that mean you're about at like, what, 4,000 encounters or so? I'm pretty sure when Sauce McGavin did this hunt, he was 9 to 5 Monday through Friday for a month before he found his Bulbasaur. Hey, Ruben, have a fantastic evening. Get some good sleep. And have a great day tomorrow. around that, and you've got like 6 hours on Fire Red trying for a Bulbasaur, and you know that the shiny odds were no joke. Yes, they are no joke indeed. No joke indeed. So are you dual hunting at this point, or are you just bouncing back and forth between the two games? You're restarting for Shiny Squirtle? You didn't get far on the Switch? Do it, David. Get it. We're just enticing everybody up in here to shiny hunt a starter Pokemon. We're out here doing those like whiteout survival ads or whatnot, you know. Do something so incredibly simple that aggravates people into trying it for themselves to prove how stupid the person playing the game on the ad is. I feel like that's like this right now. Surely finding a shiny can't be that hard. I'm going to go find one too. And then we all suffer together. It'll be glorious. Like, I could be dual hunting right now, but I'm good. My problem with dual hunting is I don't have anywhere to put the second screen. Jumping in between games, but Mama didn't raise no quitter, so here you are. The Switch does have rewind. Don't forget that for future shinies. What is rewind? Hopefully I get the Bulbasaur soon. Well, thank you. Hopefully you get your shiny soon as well. It's only on the Game Boy games in the Switch Online deal. Oh, you mean the save states? The save states is precisely why we probably aren't likely to see Pokemon games added to the Nintendo Switch Online services alongside Pokemon Home capabilities. The expansion thing, yeah. It will have support on home. Yeah, this game will for sure. Yeah. Fire Red Leaf Green will have home support, they said. Um, but that the reason why they have home support is because they're not on Nintendo Switch Online. If they released it on Nintendo Switch Online instead of as a digital standalone, we would not have Pokemon Home support because of cloning and duplication, and that would like just drive Nintendo crazy if we had fun. I'm surprised they didn't give us a way to get Mew in this game. Even though in the original we didn't have a way, I'm still surprised. Yeah, but Ace. Most things done with Ace, though, are going to be flagged in Pokemon Home anyways, I feel like. That's funny. I didn't know this was triggering the mic. But I mean, it makes sense. Man, I need another 4-hour gaming session for a stream. That was legit last weekend. Maybe I'll have to do that again this weekend. I could hit 1900 encounters tonight before the wife gets home from work. But it's going to be barely. And I have to hit 30 seconds per encounter for the next 40 minutes. Maybe I can lock in and make it happen. Keep forgetting to spam the B to avoid the nicknaming. Hey, Zaraora, welcome. Thank you. We'll get it eventually. It's a matter of time. It'll happen. Well, right on. 365, got a subscriber for every day of the year now. That's what's up. think this is a shiny hunt with the worst odds that we've ever done on the channel. Ronnie Moreno, welcome back. How you been? Lunch and dinner. Two men order identical poisoned iced teas. One man drinks 5 very quickly. The other drinks 1 slowly. The man who drank 1 died, but the man who drank 5 survived. How? Ooh, this is like a clue mystery. Given that they're iced teas, there should be ice in them. If you drink them fast, the ice doesn't melt. If poison was in the ice, then the guy that drank 5 of them fast wouldn't have had time for the ice to melt for the poison to get into the drink. Because the name is also poison iced teas, not poison tea with ice. So that's another clear distinction there. You hate me so much. Sorry. Commas are important. Raymond Jenkins, welcome to the stream. How you doing? You really like my headphones? Thanks, Ronnie. Thanks. Now to your question. Two men are in the desert, both wearing backpacks. One is dead, and his pack is closed. The other is alive, and his pack is open. What is the dead man's pack? A parachute. I presume. Enjoying your evening and playing your Radical Red Nuzlocke. That sounds like fun. I can get behind that. Is that randomized, or is it just a really intense version of red? I'm guessing the people in the desert went skydiving and one of their chutes did not open. It'll be a really awesome day if you get me one day. One of these days. Oh. You are in a hallway with 3 switches that control a single light bulb in a closed room. You can only enter the room once. How do you find out which switch works? Let's see. So, the answer to this is in timing. You flip switch number 1 and you wait, say, 10 minutes. And then you flip it off. You flip switch 3 or 2, doesn't matter, but let's go with 3. And then you run up the stairs or otherwise go into the closet to check to see if the light is on. If it's on, you know it's switch 3. If it's off but it's hot, you know it's switch 1. If it's off but cold, you know it's switch 2. I don't even have to finish. I got the answer. Have a good night. Have a good one, Ronnie. We'll catch you later. We have made it through the entirety of Stardew Valley game shops, and like I don't even remember it playing. Like we went straight from Pokemon to Zelda in my mind. It's pretty crazy. Shiny J, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Working on Shiny Charmander at this moment. How many encounters? How long have you been hunting? $21.65 soft resets right now. I love it. What's your estimation on the number of shinies, or not the number of shinies, the number of encounters it's going to take you to get said shiny? You're guessing it'll take 43.25? That's respectable. That's the number you have in your head for some reason. I think it could likely be that. I think that that would be a potential. I'm guessing mine 12,000. I don't know if I have a specific number, but I feel like in the 12,000 range. And that would be my longest hunt to date. It would be close to odds if you're right. I mean, it's halfway there. $43.25 is just a little bit over half odds. Your longest was 18,653 for Lugia. Dang. Or is that she? That was in another game in a far off land a long, long time ago. Hey, Pokemon Forever, right? Nah, Lugia's in Pokemon 2000. Cannot wait for Gen 10 though. Same. Then again, actually, like maybe I can wait because like I got a lot of stuff that I want to get accomplished, but this run's probably going to take me until Gen 10 anyways, and I got like dozens of hunts to do between Sword Shield and BDSP and Gen 7. You're hoping them taking until the next year pays off? It could. Then again, if they make another game like Pokopia and have that third-party studio do the work, we can wait. Pokemon Pokopia is like a love letter to Red and Blue, and I love it. We don't need a ZA repeat either. Getting Pokopia this weekend, hopefully. It is exciting. Like, the first maybe 5 minutes are just like, I don't know how I feel about this. But after that, it's like, oh my gosh, this game's actually quite amazing. I understand the ratings that it's been getting. And it's something that like Pokemon should have been doing forever ago. And it makes a lot of sense as to why they keep providing updates for Animal Crossing, but haven't made a new version of it yet. Because Pokemon Pokopia is Animal Crossing. If Animal Crossing, Pokemon, Minecraft, and Stardew Valley somehow had a grandchild together, it would be Pokemon Pokopia. One to 10, how is it in my scale? Initially, I said a solid 8. I'm currently bumping it up to a solid 9, at least. I haven't finished the story, but I keep getting surprised. I think it's got really great gameplay. It's got a really good story going for it so far. It makes you want to explore and tinker and figure things out in the best ways. I was expecting, you know, maybe like 20 to 30 Pokemon that you could find in this game. It's like almost every Gen 1 Pokemon from what I can see, plus a few from other regions. So the possibilities are almost endless. And like what I am excited about, if they do it right, I feel like it was Grizo that did the game. I might be misquoting the studio, but I feel like Grizo stands out. Grizo doesn't miss, by the way. I feel like opportunities are endless for DLC for that game. Sky's the limit. DLC to go to space and see if the humans are hanging out there on a moon or something. Definitely an option. Possibility to unlock more towns inside the Johto or the Kanto region. Absolutely. Ability to go over to the Johto region is a possibility. Not likely, obviously, but Sevi Islands, possibility. But like, yeah, they could just add areas and more Pokemon, and we would probably eat it up. I would. The downside is, to a certain extent, you won't be unlocking like moves to progress through the game and get to do areas and do new things. But you would constantly be able to find new Pokemon. Got your wife into card collecting? Just trying to get her into the games now? You're over there like Emperor Palpatine. Let the darkness flow through you. Except for its Pokemon. Do it, Anakin. Beautiful part is people can take their own pace. And definitely you. I had my wife get a copy of Omega Ruby when we were dating. She hasn't really played through it. She popped it in and was playing it a little bit, but wasn't really her cup of tea. She was hesitant for collecting, now she's hooked. Nice. She begs you for Mime Junior cards? Oh, that's cool. Get all the Mime Juniors. Gonna eventually make a Mr. Mime Jr. collage for her. I guess it's just Mime Jr., isn't it? That'll be cool. Need to make one of those 3D Pokemon cards too with it. Just get all of the Mr. Mimes of the same card. Make a nice little 3D shadow box looking thing out of it. Definitely willing to attempt a 3D one. Yeah, that's 1,862 encounters. Yeah, I was wondering if that would be problematic, and it kind of is. We're at 15 hours, 45 minutes of hunting. And I think I got about 8 more minutes to stream tonight. The wife should be getting home any minute now. Got shiny Bulbasaur in 6292 soft resets. Nice. Named him Coconut. I love it. You know what I just realized? If you're on an iPhone, my live sub count and goal is non-existent. Oh, I think I turned the goal off on purpose. That actually makes sense. Let's do this. I think I can work with this. Sub goal, sub count, sub goal. There we go. much better. Maybe? Yes? We'll see. We'll see if I like that better. You were leaning towards Coconut or Groot. You're on Android. Right on. Yeah, the iPhones have a little camera in the middle of the viewing screen that kind of blocks some stuff out. McLewis, London, welcome. I did seriously buy it, and I'm loving every second of it. Got myself a shiny Deoxys and Fire Red already. Definitely one of the best $20 purchases I've ever made. And that's from somebody who still has the physical cards anyways, so loving it. Because it's a great game. That's why. And $20 isn't that much. It's like less than an hour of my day job worth of work. Would do again in a heartbeat. I would have paid $40 for each copy of these games personally. Price of 2 games for the price of 1 physical copy and getting bonuses, well worth it. 20 USD for a 22-year-old game. All right, that's a conversation of itself, Lewis. You played the game when it first came out, yeah? $100%. And that was a $35 game when it came out, USD, right? It was your first game you ever bought. Did you enjoy it? $29.99 CAD. Yeah, that tracks. That would be about 35 USD. Loved it 22 years ago. So it was a good experience for you? Just bought Crystal 5 years ago for $9.99. Yeah. If they do OGS collection, you'd be willing to drop 100 on it, Shiny J? Could be, could be. Here's my thing. They charged $35 for it 22 years ago, as you say. And I loved the heck out of it then. Played it many hours of it. Yeah, I bought a game. But what I actually bought was an experience. And if $20 now isn't worth the experience for you, I completely get it. But that doesn't mean it's a scam or a ripoff. It just means it's not for you. But just because it's 22 years old doesn't mean the experience should be any cheaper. Because that's what they're selling, is an experience. A story, a game. Just because it costs them nothing to put it on the Switch, next to nothing really, so that you can buy it and pay $20 for them, doesn't mean it's a scam. It just means that's smart business sense. It adds to their bottom line. What's the point of buying the experience for the second time? I'll tell you. The ability to shiny hunt Deoxys without hacking. Just like I paid $10 for the same crystal version that you bought for the 3DS Virtual Console, just because shiny Celebi was huntable in that game. Because that was an improvement to the experience for me. And I enjoyed the game. And if ROMs do it for you, that's great. I don't do ROMs, really. And ROMs don't do it for me. While I could put it on ×4 speed, I find playing it on a console or handheld to be way more enjoyable than playing with a mouse and keyboard or a computer. I mean, you can hook controllers up to it, sure, but I just don't find ROMs and emulators to be enjoyable. So it's not worth it for me, and I would gladly pay Nintendo to have them put it on their consoles natively. I did. If I have the game and I'm buying it again, it's not for content. If I wanted to do it for content, I would have just put this in, as I have in the past. I'm playing this because I want a leaf green shiny Deoxys. I have the Game Boy player for GameCube. It's not hard for me to get it on the PC to stream. It's easy. I want Deoxys. I do. Leaf green. So what? I can use it for content. That's my prerogative. It writes it off as a business expense. I'm okay with that. Okay. Just because I can get content out of it doesn't mean that was the reason I purchased it. It just means that I can write it off as a business expense because I am using it for content. That's smart business sense. But at the end of the day, I want a shiny Deoxys for my collection. It's the attack and speed forms and the defense forms. Because I did Deoxys on OG Emerald Cart forever ago. And now I can do it on Fire Red Leaf Green too. You can be a hater, that's fine. Like, I don't care. $20 for this game just isn't for you, and that's completely fine. But it's worth it to me. And to many others. And part of the reason why I wanted to buy these games is because I want to show the support, because I want Emerald, Ruby, and Sapphire to be released in the same manner. And I'm hoping that by buying the games, I'm helping facilitate Nintendo putting those out on the Nintendo Switch too. And a Nintendo Switch. So that more people can buy those games and experiencing them legitimately and not have to pirate them and play them on an emulator. They'll just be able to buy them for $20 and experience those games too. And maybe it'll cause carts to go down in price a little bit. Because right now, paying $200 for a cartridge of Emerald is ridiculous to play it legitimately. I'm not playing that stupid game, not when I have a modded Switch where it's free. I mean, why wouldn't you make hardcore mode like Radical Red for people who have played it? Because I don't do fan-made games. Sure, I could mod the heck out of the game on a Nintendo Switch. I have the ability to, yeah. Why wouldn't Nintendo? You know, I could see them, you know, doing that. That would be nice to an extent. Like, sure, they could have added stuff. But they didn't need to sell it. Why give a 22-year-old game with no upgrades? Put a hard code mode for people who played it 22 years ago. That's the thing, McLewis. It's not for people who played it 22 years ago. It's for kids of today's age to play it again, and people who want the pure nostalgia of the thing. It's not for hardcore players. It never has been. Sure, they could make money marketing it that way and actually doing a game like that. I'm not arguing that, but the purpose of their release was to honor the 30 years of Pokemon and celebrate a game that came out like 20 years prior to that. Not saying that they couldn't or shouldn't do a hardcore mode. Like, I think that would be awesome if they would put something out like that. Is a scam if you've never played it? Not really. It's amazing. If you don't have a copy and want to play legit, it's good. But like no visual upgrades, kids today don't know how to play and don't understand. Well, they should. And it's a learning opportunity for them. Take a look at what Pokemon used to be in an easily obtainable method. Because here's the thing, McLewis. A lot of people that use ROMs have the mentality of, if it's not for sale, it's not pirating. If I could buy it, I would buy it, but I can't. I can't find a legitimate cartridge, and I'm not paying $200 for a legitimate cartridge. So if Nintendo's not actively selling it right now, then pirating it isn't stealing. That's a lot of the argument behind ROM and ROM hacks and things like that. Nintendo's selling it now. They invalidated that argument. Not that they needed to, but it's now invalid. Because now it's easily obtainable for all that have a Switch. It's within reach. It's doable. Games used to set kids up to fail. Games today don't set them to fail. They guide over and over to the point where the mind's not challenged. Exactly. That's why this game is so great to be released and pay money for. Because it's a challenge to some degree. I mean, not so much for us who's played the original and grew up with it and, you know, we're adults. And it's like, okay, I already know what to do. But having to pick what Pokemon you have on your team because you need a move later to get through a cave, not having that and having to backtrack out, I think that crap's funny. That shows, hey, I might need this Pokemon with this HM. That's a challenge. Working those HMs that don't do super great in battle into your team so that you can progress through the land and still win battles is a challenge. Instead of, let me just call this ride Pokemon to get me through what I need to do, and then I'm done. Not to mention, oh, I grind for 5 minutes and find a shiny. Yeah, the crap today's too easy. This is hard mode for Pokemon. For most people these days that are used to Sword Shield, SV, Legends, Arceus, ZA, like, this is the experience. And this is why it's worth $20. And why they should be able to get away with selling it for $20. And now I don't defend Nintendo on everything. For myself, Nintendo, I don't think, needs to be charging, you know, $70, $80 for a Switch game. I think that gets the realm of absurdity, but realistically speaking, Nintendo is selling this game for cheaper than it was when the originals were released, in both inflation terms and non-inflation terms. So I think they're okay in charging $20 for a digital copy of this game. It was a good game. Still is a good game. It's not a marketing scam. It's marketing genius. It's just not worth it to you. And that's fine. This is a great maneuver to make sure Nintendo stays in the red. Because it is free income to them. Like, yeah, maybe they had a development team have to put in a few hours to make sure that it worked flawlessly on the Switch. But given that they already had the Nintendo environment for the Game Boy Advance in their online environment, yeah, very minimal effort on their team. That just means that this is pure red ledger, or I guess black market, sorry, black ledger. Because you don't want to be in the red as a business. You want to be in the black. This is just pure black income. I would have bought this game even if I wasn't doing YouTube, let's be honest. Aren't all games a ROM by that categorization, though? Or classification? Sure, I would have preferred a physical release as opposed to a digital release, but one of these sources say that 2.8 million copies have been sold for these games, and now it's probably outdated. 2.8 million times $20. That's a lot. That's almost like $50-ish million of profit for 15 minutes. Not even 15 minutes, like 4 or 5 minutes in a Nintendo Direct of marketing. That's an insane return on investment. You would have been fine with physical, then your entire argument is invalid. If you are okay with physical and paying $20 per copy for physical, you just shot your entire argument in the foot. Like, you're pissed that it's not physical. If they would have released it physical, they would have sold it for $30, at least. Because selling it for $20 as a physical, your cartridge costs more than the game you're paying for. That's why a lot of people are doing digital game key cards, is because they're cheaper to manufacture. And why they're in a lot hot water with having key cards is because the prices for the Nintendo Switch 2 cartridges are so outrageous right now. So you're just pissed that it's a digital game only. Like, has nothing to do with the price of the game. That's what your argument just said. Which is fine. I would have preferred a physical copy myself, but it's still worth the buy to me. I would prefer Nintendo charge $20 for each one of these games and keep their development team going, keep their income going so that they can spend more time in development and pay their employees more to develop better games over time. It would be delightful. Now we got to think that all this profit for this game, or these games rather, is getting split three ways between Nintendo, Creatures Inc., and the Pokemon Company. And so far each one's got about 15-16 million dollars in profits, depending on how they split their revenue and whatnot. Because yeah, that's all owned by Nintendo, but they do in fact have a three-way split with other companies on the matter. And you think a typical game dev team probably has about 15 to 30 people with a salary range of like 100K, give or take, a year. That costs a bit of money to do. That's like 3 million a year to employ 30 people, I think, is, if I did my basic math correctly. and 100K is conservative for a experienced programmer, but they typically start about 80 and can usually get up to 160, depending on what they're programming, where they're programming, and all that. I would say 100K is pretty reasonable. But then you basically got to double that number for your salary range just to make sure expenses are covered, depending on what region you're in, what taxes are like, benefits, and things like that. You're usually paying like half of your salary again in benefits. So we'll say 4,500 safely, or sorry, 4.5 mil safely for expenses in employees. Then you got the building operating costs. So for the Game Freak specifically, who is the programming company behind Pokemon, they have at least probably 4.5 million in employee expenses working on the Pokemon games solely. Whereas Creatures Inc., I think Creatures Inc. and Game Freak might actually be the same, but I could be wrong. Needless to say, there's a lot that goes into the games and whatnot. I'm streaming still, Starkiller. Yeah. Have a good one, Shiny J. Yeah, I was talking to Mick Lewis London about the price of these games and whatnot, and I think I decided that they were probably there for the troll more than anything else. I don't know, maybe their thoughts were honest in how they felt, but They kind of blew their entire argument there at the end. That and making assumptions and doing general attacks in the argument. These games were a steal at 20 bucks considering how much they cost to actually buy? Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. Better than 70, like my wife just said. 20 bucks for each one of these games to enjoy them again. Easily port Pokemon to Pokemon Home in a matter of seconds when it releases versus going to Gen 4, porting to Gen 5, porting to the Pokemon Transporter to get to Gen 6 through the and 7 through the Pokemon Bank, going from Bank to Pokemon Home. What we will probably see is Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire come to the Switch as well, and I don't think the DS games will be far behind. Why? Why is it smoky? Oh gosh. Okay. Well, I got some smoke alarms to take care of, so I will be ending the stream, Star Killer. And we'll catch you later. We'll do one last encounter and hope my fire alarms don't go off. Actually, maybe I don't have to end. I'll just pause for a second. Well, Star Killer, I managed to trip my alarm. So that was fun. Seems like the kiddo's going to go back to sleep, though, so. Our fire alarm situation is extremely stupid. I think part of it is the placement of them, and part of it is the shape of our ceiling. Because we are in the middle floor, you got a flat ceiling, whereas in a third floor, perhaps you could have a slanted ceiling, right? So the smoke goes up and it just stays on the ceiling and spreads across it because it's flat. It can't slope to one side and wait until there's enough of it to deem that it's a problem and do something about it. It just straight, you breathe in the air and it goes off because there's too much smoke there. The other part of the problem is that from the kitchen to the living room, you have a return vent on one side of the living room, but the kitchen on the other side of the living room. So it's sucking that air from the kitchen straight through to that vent, which is the fire, or the smoke detector is like right in line with that. So it just pulls it across the fire detector or smoke alarm. So if you open the oven with it on, it will set off the fire alarm. And we thought maybe we could try to have them back up, because it's probably not a good idea that we just don't have smoke detectors or fire alarms in the main house. We have two, one in my youngest son's bedroom and one in our bedroom. So if there's a fire out in the middle, we all burning, basically. Probably. I mean, I'm sure before anything bad happens, the sprinklers will go off because they're getting too hot, but that's a hope at this point. You love flat ceilings. They are so much easier to paint. I bet they are. Listen, they don't have to be vaulted ceilings, but you know, a little bit of slant for the snow to come off the roof is nice. You know, like kind of like a manufactured home kind of slant would be nice. You know, like an 8-foot to an 11-foot grade would be nice. Over about 13 feet wide. I think that roughly equates to about a 5% grade. I don't know, what's a squared plus b squared? The difference would be 3 between an 8 and 11 foot, so that would be b squared. So we got 9 plus, oh, what is it? I said, let's do 12 because that's math's easy. And it probably is closer to 12 anyways. That would be 144 plus 9 is 153. The root of 153. The Secret Service can't handle a 5% slant. I don't know. I haven't heard anything from Mick Lewis recently. Wonder if they're still hanging out. They kind of just stopped chatting after saying they would have been fine with physical. Everyone ran away. Seems like it. One of their arguments was I only bought the game for content. And I'm like, I could reach up right now and grab my GameCube and pop my cartridge in and just do the same cartridge, and if I edited my screen enough, nobody would ever know the difference. Like, I didn't have to buy the game for content. I could have just played the original. And I could have hacked in a Deoxys event, honestly. I have done several videos in the past on how to do just that. Physical game collectors are some of the biggest crybabies in the world from what you've really noticed. Yeah. I mean, I would have loved physical release. Absolutely. I love having the game on my shelf. I love knowing that it's mine forever. But if I want it bad enough, I'm going to get it. Yeah, 5 minutes. I could probably have my GameCube hooked up to stream the original GBA cart. The question is, can I find the disc? Yes, I have access to a disc really quickly. Well, no, that's my English. I would need my Japanese one. Maybe that is my Japanese one. I have a Japanese Game Boy player and like 3 English Game Boy players. The disc is the hard part. You would have gotten these physical, but it doesn't hurt you to copy it 100 times on a micro SD express card. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can't call a digital release a scam as your main argument point and then say you would have been perfectly fine with a physical release for 20 bucks when the cartridge itself costs like at least 15 to manufacture. Like, that is in fact part of the reason why the game price went up to $70. But oddly enough, they didn't unsubscribe when they left, so maybe they're still here. Or maybe they never were and just happened to find the channel a few times, because I know they've chatted in before. Like, it just makes me want to do a video on it that much more. Because the engagement on it is going to be crazy. Because people will see that, and the people that are really upset with it are going to have to comment on it. Like, that is engagement and content gold right there. And because apparently I'm in it for the content, I gotta do the video now. Like, I have to. Right? You buy mostly digital because you'll never lose your games, and you have a feeling they will always be available to re-download from this point on since the Switch store seems permanent. Yeah. I think even the Wii U and the 3DS, you can still download past purchases. I'm pretty sure the 3DS is still online as far as downloading. I think the PS3 is still online for that matter for that. You can still download 3DS games from the eShop, but only if you previously purchased them. Yeah. I think there's something that legally requires them to still offer downloads if you've purchased the game. And those servers that hold those games and offer that service also cost money to maintain. So every time they do a digital store, they're adding to their operating expenses near indefinitely. I could test re-downloading, but I also do not want to delete said games to try to download. If it ain't broke, let's not fix it. Okay, this will be my last check for the night. We will be ending the stream from there. And then maybe we'll be back tomorrow. I don't know. But no shiny today. We're at 1,900 encounters, just shy of 2,000. And we'll see what we can get up to. But we will catch you all later. Yes, I would leave. I need sleep for work tomorrow. We have some shenanigans to get up to, so we'll catch you later, Starkiller.